women say, oh, can't believe that. Well, how does he want multiple wives? Or how can he da? It's something that is in them. Like, it's certain things that's in us that we may not be able to explain it. Or then later on, we're like, oh yeah, that is why. That's the reason why. We're just different like that. So there was this thing, it didn't matter. And yes, I'm going to say that. And some people, it's going to probably ruffle some feathers. It didn't matter that he was married to someone else. That wasn't the thing. That wasn't the deal breaker. Because I saw the family dynamic and I saw the leader in him. So I believed that it would work. I believed it would work. But when we were actually in it, it was terrifying because I'm like, okay, did I make a mistake?
Warning, viewer discretion is advised. The content, views, and educational material you are about to experience could challenge your belief, trigger strong emotions, and frankly, piss you off. This isn't for everyone. If you're not ready to confront new ideas, or if your feelings bruise easily, this might be the time to click away. Expect to be challenged, to think, and you might even want to scream at the screen. Proceed with caution, and remember, you chose to be here. Let's get it.
Polygyny was new for all of us. It was new for Coach Nyla. It was new for Coach Fatimah. It was new for me. So we weren't in polygyny before, even though he was married already, even though I was in a failed marriage and monogamy. Polygyny was new to us. That whole dynamic is like we were literally, seriously going through and growing through the motions of being able to get to where we are now. And it took a minute. It took a while because we had to find our groove. We had to be able to communicate. We had to learn how to communicate, learn different styles, learn different communication styles of each other, learn the personality types of each other, the behavioral types of each other. Because a lot of times when people communicate, they don't communicate to connect. They communicate to get their point across. It's like, okay, this is what it is. This is what I want. And this is what I want them to hear and listen to and things like that. And it takes growth. It takes learning. It takes learning from those who've done it. And we didn't have the examples, that were doing it.
Yeah, we're from the Midwest. So those who do practice polygyny are quiet about it. We learn later after the fact. I've known somebody since he was a teenager, didn't know until he was almost 40 years old, that his parents, were in polygyny. The East Coast is a lot more common. It's a lot more stuff more common over there, good and not so good. But nevertheless, we didn't have that. And representation, of course, matters. So we had to figure it out. And the main thing was, it was me. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't necessarily y'all. You know what I'm saying? I had to increase my leadership in several different areas inside the home and really paint the vision. I'll be talking about that a little bit more next week, inshallah. So that part was extremely important because, again, we had the basic part that's out there when it comes to knowing the rules and regulations that Islam puts in place, but understand how to live it practically and win at it. That's a whole different story.
Yeah. I was gonna say something I totally forgot about it, but definitely learning, even when it came to the leadership and trusting the leadership. That was the thing, because it's new. When I say things are new, I had to learn so much. Being a woman who was raised by a single mom, and being the oldest of 9 and different things like that, having different, I would say, masculine energy, type of thing. And it's like, okay, well, but wanting to embrace more of your feminine energy, but don't really know. Like Coach Arthur said, representation matters. Like my mom looked the part and she kind of was this struggle between, feminine and not feminine when it comes to making sure things happen. And it just wasn't, being brought up in something like that is confusing when it comes to relationships, when it comes to marriage. And she wasn't married. She didn't marry until I think I was an adult when she actually was married. So, and then that marriage ended in divorce, and that was a disaster. and seeing those things. So even like I said, when I say representation matters, I didn't see a lot of even positive monogamous marriages in my life. So until I was like, I'll see people from a distance, kind of like jobs that I worked at when I was growing up or something on the lines of that. But it was, like I said, from a distance.
You're already on our channel and you see how we are empowering people when it comes to polygamy education. You may be wondering, what's the next step? Especially knowing that we are the authors of the book,
Let's Talk Polygamy Uncensored. If you want to get off the emotional roller coaster, whether it's jealousy, insecurity, frustration, anger, maybe even guilt in some cases, you're going to want to pick up this book.
Definitely wish I would have had this book back a while ago when we first embarked on polygyny. And you will learn a lot of things about minding your marriage and what that actually means. So you're not comparing your marriage to your co-wives or anybody else's for that matter.
If you have heard, I'm not against polygamy, I just against when it's not done right, you want to learn how to do it right? This will teach you how to be more than twice the man you need to be to get it done. Let's talk polygamy.com. We look forward to shipping yours off to you.
So it was a confusing thing, but it was like, okay, you want something done right, you do it yourself. You want you do. It was those type of that mentality. Even though my nature, the natural part of me is like, I want to be the nurturer. I want to be the caregiver. I want to be these things. And it's like, I don't know, because I'm so used to it. I'm conditioned to being, to fighting both sides, So to actually have a person, and you see it, like my thing, like I said, Coach Nyla check these boxes because I knew in my heart, I knew in my nature what I actually want. I want to be able to have a person that is strong, is fearless, is like these type of things that we talk about for the masculine frame. I knew that that's something that I wanted, whether we can explain it that way and clearly like that, but it's something that's already in you. Like when women say, oh, can't believe that. Well, how does he want multiple wives, or how can he da-da-da? It's something that is in them. Like it's certain things that's in us that we may not be able to explain it, or then later on we're like, oh yeah, that is why. That's the reason why. We're just different like that. So there was this thing, it didn't matter. And yes, I want to say that, and some people, it's going to probably ruffle some feathers. It didn't matter that he was married to someone else. That wasn't the thing. That wasn't the deal breaker. Because I saw the family dynamic and I saw the leader in him. So I believed that it would work. I believed it would work. But when we were actually in it, it was terrifying, because I'm like, okay, did I make a mistake? Did I put, am I in the wrong place? Am I causing these issues? And I don't want to cause the issues. Let me just step back.
Okay, so now you've said that several times, which begs the question, okay,
why didn't?
So now, no, why didn't you? But if you would do it again and you weren't as naive, then what? Would you have done it? Would you have said, all right, yeah, this is the guy still?
Yes.
Or would it just be like, well, I'm not naive anymore?
No, I would, because, but I would have went into it differently. Like as far as my mentality, as far as my positioning, and not the position like, yeah, I'm here, bow to me, or I'm here and forget what y'all were doing before, type of stuff. Do what I say. No, I'm talking about as far as my coming in was so to the point where it's like, I want to be liked and not to ruffle any feathers, not to hurt anybody, not to do anything that it was that, like I stated, it was like, maybe I shouldn't be here, or maybe I should just be in the background too, whenever someone decides to bring me out, saying kind of like, let me just sit on this shelf here, let me sit in this closet until, it's like, okay, we ready for you now type of thing. It would have been different.